Hello and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. Oh, let's get going. I completely forgot this weekend to work on up, catching up on the old, uh, on the past few episodes, so I'm still 2 episodes behind on uploads, but that's fine. I think what I'm gonna do is try and get them running tonight and just let it kind of run overnight because it'll take about 6 hours to process all those. So, well, because I have two and then the one I'm recording right now, so that'll be 3 total. So I'll just start it before bed, and tomorrow morning they'll all be done and I can upload them, and I'll be all caught up. Or I'll forget again and then do it the next day with 4, and then I'll be all caught up. But I am not one of those people who just like dreads Mondays, but I definitely do get a little more tired Monday morning than all the other mornings during the week. But I managed to get up and out on time today, so should be just about good to go. But I'm trying to I was trying this weekend to get a lot done, but I got a lot done, just it wasn't the things I was originally intending. uh, but I did start working on uh, painting that large model, and it's going pretty good. I think I got it down more or less. And so, yeah, I'm painting the big Star Wars model, getting that down. And then I kind of laid out the wood I got for the planter and was going to work on that, but then got busy with other stuff. And I also realized uh, the nails I have are a little bit long and might stick through. And so I either need to use some sort of spacer or an additional backing to prevent the nails from sticking out too much, which I could just use an additional kind of layer of backing, because it's not too much. The nails are about 1.25 inches long, and then the boards are about a 1/2 inch thick that I'm using. So it'll be less than 1/4 inch probably that's sticking out, which isn't much. So I could probably use some sort of little temporary, or not temporary, but little like wooden pieces of some kind. Either like just thin wooden strips as like spacers, or on the other end, although it might be hard to hold them down on the other end. Well, then again, I guess I could just put it on the concrete and that would hold it, but I'm trying to think if I have any anything that would be like an maybe a sixth of an inch, because like there'll be a little bit of space between them, and I'm using up 1 inch, and so that leaves a quarter inch. So I need a little more than a quarter inch, so like a fifth or a sixth. That way, well, that's if I'm doing a spacer, because I want to take as much space or as little space as possible with it. But but I'm going to be putting. See, so it'll be. I can't do 3 pieces thick anywhere because then it won't be long enough. Luckily, on the ends, I'm putting it into the length of the board, so there's plenty of room there. But yeah, I'm still working on how to get that kind of working better. Anyway, but I don't remember where I was going with this quite. But yeah, I just got a few things done. Oh, but I started recording from my phone because I am still recording, painting the larger miniature for a full length video. And I don't know whether I'm going to use the original footage I captured or not. So I kind of just record as if I was just starting. But what I'm going to do is kind of take a look at it. And I recorded 2 separate versions. One is if I'm just starting the video, and one is if I'm continuing from where I was last time. It's been about a month since I started it, though. Things just take a lot of time when you don't have that much spare time. But I think I'm going to continue painting it. This week I'm going to try and kind of get any pieces that I still need to touch up, and then I'm going to get some of the smaller pieces that need a little more detail, because I did mostly broad strokes. So I'm going to try and get all the interiors done, I think. That way I can get started on assembling it, because I need it to be assembled for some of the painting. And especially like the wash that I'm going to do, I want it to be pretty consistent throughout the model, so I'm going to keep that one more or less until the entire thing is done. But I need to figure out just what I'm going to do on the highlights on the inside, because I had an idea of like kind of adding a little bit of glow to it almost through like a kind of reddish dry brush, but I don't know if I have the right paint for that, and I don't really want to buy more. But I was thinking I have the red kind of glow style, or like, is this kind of semi-translucent that makes like gems or like uh, lights on the model, and it makes it look like it's like a lens kind of effect where you can see a little ways into it but not all the way through it, and so it still is solid but more translucent red. And I have that in red, and then I have a similar kind of green and blue, so I can do a variety of lights. But oh, what I'm really trying to get done is uh, just get the interiors done so I can put it together and not have so many pieces, because it's kind of ridiculous the amount of pieces I have on it. But it is one of the most large and complicated models for Legion, so I'm not overly surprised. It would be nice to kind of trim that down so I can just kind of grab one piece and show it off and work with it. And also to make sure I get the color consistent between them. Because right now, since they're all separate, it's kind of hard to make sure the color is the exact same from piece to piece. And so I kind of need to do another coat over the details before I start doing the washes. But that's all the time I have for now. So I will continue this later. Oh, all right. Hello and welcome back. Now, if I remember correctly, where I left off last, I was talking about what I have left on painting the LAAT model, and whew, so let's see. I was talking about the lights. So yeah, I was thinking I want to do some kind of like interior glow, maybe. So I was trying to figure out if it would work to like dry brush the uh, essentially dry brush the kind of glowy paint, but it's super like globular and like it really sticks to itself. So I don't know if it would work with a dry brush or if it would just kind of make it look weird. Because I was thinking I might need to try it with a different model first, or maybe on like the the base of it, because I'm planning on painting over the base anyway. So maybe I'll try it on there just to see if the idea would work of using the same red. But yeah, if that works, then that could look really cool, because it kind of looked like shining points of light reflecting across it, but at the same time Uh, I don't know, because it's kind of a, I want to do more than just red lights, so maybe that wouldn't work so much. Maybe it just needs a bit of a overall kind of light spray, because I do have an airbrush that I've been wanting to use. And so I could like airbrush a little bit of light gray, which over the existing light gray probably wouldn't make much of a difference. So, not sure. I guess I'll just have to take a look at it, but I need to get some more done on it before I even get to that step. So, don't need to worry about that too much for now. Ooh. But traffic's kind of jamming up here, so. Oh, I had to leave a little early because one of my coworkers is out today, so I had to leave a little early to make sure we didn't all leave the office at the same time. But oh, yeah, I'm trying to figure out just what projects I want to do because I also do want to try and build a computer, but that's going to have to be with spare parts that I can get for free because I don't really have the money spare right now to be spending a lot. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some spare parts from people who I know have some old computers. And there's always places that sell like used computer parts, but those would be quite a bit cheaper, but it'd still not be because I probably don't want to spend much at all, but I think we'll just have to see. Oh, there's a few slow moving construction vehicles kind of taking up the road here. Maybe I can pass them. Sorry, I went quiet. I just don't like talking while maneuvering through heavy traffic. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, but I still am wanting to make uh, my own computer. But I think I can get a free case. I know a couple people who have like old computer cases, and then a motherboard probably wouldn't be too hard to find. But the main thing is kind of the CPU. Those are hard to get used ones. But I'm gonna look around and see what I can find. Oh, and then graphics cards. That's the other thing. So, like the motherboard, I think I can find. Uh, I know a few people, my dad included, who have a motherboard that they're not using for an old computer, and as well as a case, but then I still need the CPU and the graphics card, and then any additional RAM. But, people that have spare parts sometimes have something surprising. Oh, oh, I'm a little tired now, but I can tell I'm just hungry, so I'll probably be a little more talkative after lunch. Probably have a few more things to talk about as well. Oh, I'm starting to run out of things that are easy for me to just kind of bring up because I've already talked through so much. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of turn this into a weekly podcast and do a couple of sections a day, or maybe like one or two a day. And then after I have the whole week's 5 to 10 saved up, and then combine them all into one big old thing. And that is a trailer of squash. Oh, I guess I was just harvesting some. I grew up in a more agricultural area. It was where I grew up was agriculture and oil field, and there's a lot of cotton and peanuts. That was the main two uh, things, and then there was also oil. So it was cotton, peanuts, and oil. We did a lot of, and so I was used to seeing a lot of agricultural stuff. I don't see them as much here as I used to, but it is more of a city, so they probably just go around. Also, a lot of hay. I remember there being a lot of hay all the time. But there's a lot of things you get used to kind of growing up in a more rural area, whether it's tractors on the road or just oil filled trucks clogging up every highway. You kind of get used to it. And after a while, you just don't really pay much mind. But that's all the time I have for now, so I will continue this later. Oh. Hello and welcome back. Oh, that was a bit of a quick lunch, but oh well. Oh, I was looking at a thing yesterday that was talking about the income kind of needed on average in different places to either meet minimum standards of living or to live comfortably. And I do think that it's pretty accurate as an average, but the thing is, averages are skewed by large cities. And so, like, it's not 100% true, but yeah, it was the average income needed to earn a livable wage in Texas was listed as $96,000 a year for a family of four, which to me sounds about right considering like we're kind of just at livable with a family of four where like pretty much we don't have very much spare income and we're going to be struggling to save up for anything for a while. But like we have a little bit of money and we're able to pay the bills every month on time and never really have to go without groceries or anything necessary. We just have to skip on some of the stuff that's fun, and I always go through and cancel all our subscriptions we're not using as often as I can. But like for us, any amount of money is like even $20 a month is matters on our budget right now. But we're not like barely making it paycheck to paycheck either, because like if I had for some reason to miss a month of paychecks, we'd be hurting, but I think it'd be manageable. And so I think we're right about it, that just at a livable wage, and that's at about 68K, or no, it was, yeah, about 68. That's about where I'm at. And so that's a lot less than 96. It's about 30,000 less, but that's the difference in living in a more rural area that still has access to some of the price benefits, I'd say, of a city, but is far enough from being a huge city that I don't have to worry about a lot of huge price increases. Like the rent is ridiculously high here still. Like we're paying $1,400 a month for a 1,500 square foot 3-bed 2-bath. Like I think it's maybe 1,600, but still, like 5 years ago, it would have been like $1,000. So it's pretty ridiculous at the current rates. Because yeah, I remember looking for an apartment 5 years ago, and somewhere like where we're staying now was only about 1,000, maybe 1,100, and now it's shot up to 1,400, and that was a pretty good price compared to all the other ones available. But I know that my sister lives in the kind of Dallas area. I think she would struggle to get twice that. Like their rent is just crazy expensive. So I'm not surprised that they're living wage would be significantly higher, and that would be enough to make it where a family of four needed 96,000 on average in Texas. So it makes sense to me as somebody with a family of three trying to, or about to be four, that I mean, we're paying for medical bills for the fourth already, so pretty much have the expenses of a family of four. But I don't know. A lot of people seem to be thinking like we're saying like, oh, these prices are ridiculous, but I really don't think they are. If you consider like, especially in Texas, you have to have a car. You can't get by without one. And even if you get a 20-year-old used car, it's like $4,000 or $5,000, and then you have to finance that, of course, because you don't have an extra $5,000 just laying around very often. And so you finance it. Oh, and then you end up paying, like, it's not much, but $100 a month for the car and the insurance and all that. And then insurance. Insurance is ridiculous. Like, currently we're paying 600 and something a month, and we are getting a discount on that because we're in a lower income bracket. Like, if I was paying full price for our insurance, it'd be $1,000 a month for health insurance, which is ridiculous. Then 1,400 a month for rent, so that's like 2,400 plus the car, 2,600, and then you go $150 of groceries a week, which we spend more than that on groceries a lot of the time. But like $150 is just about as low as you could go getting groceries for four people. And then you also have to get gas. And then you also have to have clothes. And you have to get electrical and gas and water. And you have to pay the utilities for the trash and sewer. It all adds up to where just in very basic necessities, you're paying upward of $4,000-$5,000 a month, and $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year, and that's after taxes too. So you add in that you're paying a lot of your income in taxes, and then add in any medical bills you get, because insurance does not even cover the majority of your medical expenses for the year unless something catastrophic happens, and that's paying $1,000 for insurance. Like, if you're paying less than that because you can't afford the higher insurance rates, then you're probably gonna end up paying even more to go to the doctor. And it's just getting real expensive to just, live. And I think it's stretching and stretching, and it feels like we're just kind of getting closer and closer to some kind of breaking point. I don't know what it's going to be, if the economy's going to collapse, or if it's just going to be one of those things where people like try and make some kind of drastic change. And, all the bills that just got passed, in the US at least, just kind of made the situation even worse because they don't actually provide any meaningful help to families who are struggling with inflation and bills right now. It just kind of provided tax cuts for mostly businesses and large earners because, of course, that's who passed the bill. But it's just feeling like it's kind of getting harder and harder to get anything done, and it's starting to look like something's got to break at some point. Whether it's the real estate market, which is super high year over year, or if it's not going to be groceries because those are on a thin margin as it is. Utilities should be essentially nonprofit organizations. It's just all kind of building up and gaining energy. And there's just a lot of potential energy in the whole system right now from all the strain on the whole thing. And sooner or later, something's going to give. And I hope it comes out okay and whatever big changes happen are good ones. But that's how you get some pretty drastic change in a situation. It's a lot of this tension just building up. But it's all time I got for now, so talk more later. Oh, hello, and welcome back to Park the Tray. Wait, it's part 4, not part 3. It's been a long day. Oh. But I'm headed home now, so pretty good. I was having to write an email earlier today, and I definitely have noticed that since I've started doing this podcast, I've gotten better at speaking without having to stop and, halt my speech so much and having so much issues thinking of what to say. I think that it has helped a lot with that. But it has not helped with writing when it comes to emails and things like that, because it took me like an hour to write that email. It felt like I was trying to do other things too, but I just could not figure out a good way to kind of phrase what I was wanting to. And it's because we're moving into the new building, and I was having to write an email listing things that we were still waiting on before moving. And that list is not long, but it was just a few things that they keep kind of going back and forth on. One of them is just the business owners are wanting to get the doors refinished, and the people that own the new building are not wanting to refinish the doors because they're I think they refinished all the interior doors to the office, but then they left the outsides very old and kind of a little stained and worn, and so they're needing to refinish those at some point, but they didn't want to do it yet. And pretty much if they have to do them to our office, they're probably going to have to redo the entire office. Uh, Not just ours, but they're so that's gone back and forth. And then the AC wasn't working. Like the main AC was working, but we have a separate server room AC that has to be on at all times. And they installed it, but something isn't set up because it's not turning on when it goes, and then the lights are just kind of flashing on it and not doing anything. So I think that it needs some kind of setup. But oh, yeah, it's just kind of going along, but taking a while. And they said they want to move this weekend, so I'm thinking I'm going to have a pretty busy weekend if they do decide that. And I am not looking forward to doing anything like that because it's going to be super difficult to get everything done and also move. But I'm going to have to see what plans we have this weekend anyway, and because I'm not going to let work just cancel all my plans. I'm going to make sure that I got everything lined up first, and then whatever spare time I have, I'll spend up there. But I need to do something with the static IPs, which I don't know how to do yet, so that'll be interesting. Get to learn how that works. So I think I'll probably do that sometime this week at work and see. Because if we can get that done, then it should just be the mover's job to get everything actually moved. And then we'll just have to make sure everything gets hooked up correctly. Which it should, as far as the computers, because they're all hooked up correctly now. So I know we have the necessary equipment. It's just a matter of getting it done. But I'd like to, get everything done a little quicker, but you know, it always ends up taking a while. Which I'm hoping that I get paid some kind of extra for staying late and doing a lot of extra work moving us, but something tells me they're not planning on paying any more for us to do that. But I guess we'll see. You're gonna get all of it scheduled tomorrow, I guess. Figure it out from there. But I have a feeling I'm going to be spending a lot of time there this week because we need to set up key fobs and label keys and make sure everything's working, and it's just is going to be a process. But it'll just be one of those that you got to get it done, and so it'll happen eventually. Wait. Luckily, we're not moving the servers over for a little while, so that's the hard part, is going to be moving the servers over and getting all that configured. And so luckily I don't have to do that for a while. But it will probably still take a bit of work to just kind of get everything set up once we are over there. So I'm hoping that we can kind of get it all worked out this weekend, get it taken care of, so I'm not spending the next month just making sure everybody can plug into the right place, which everyone is going to have. Access. I already checked that on the internet, but the problem comes when we may need VPN access, because I don't know what we're going to do about that. Because we have some servers that are set up to only accept certain IPs, and we'll need to add the IPs we have, but it'll be kind of difficult, so we'll see. But that's all the time I got for now. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be a little more interesting to listen to, but see y'all then.